Color Guard for taking time from their busy schedule to be here to show their support and appreciation for our veterans. Guys, again, thank you. Enjoy yourselves tonight as your Marine Ball, celebrating the 231st birthday of the Marine Corps. All of our veterans here today will always remember the following words. I do solemnly swear that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, foreign and domestic, that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same, and that I will obey the orders of the President of the United States and the orders of the officers appointed over me, according to regulations and the Uniform Code of Military Justice, so help me God. Those who have had the honor to speak these words and to take this oath belong to a special patriotic fellowship. It is an oath of service that bonds them with the veterans of our past wars, those serving today, and with those who will serve in conflicts to come. Their love of country is above reproach, and their valor is unquestioned. They served this great nation in times of peace and war. They have done so for over 200 years. They are America's veterans. The legacy of America's veterans is something we all share, and we can all take pride in their dedication and their service. We celebrate the fact that they will willingly sacrifice so that others may be free. Today, we are here to honor 7 of our veterans with the presentations of medals they have so honorably earned. At this time, it takes me pleasure to introduce my boss, our county exec, Bill Steinhurst, for some remarks.
Well, good afternoon, everyone. Delighted and really very specially honored to be part of today's event to provide necessary and important information, make it available to the veterans and those who have served here at our community college, and particularly to be part of today's ceremony to honor those who are very deserving of special recognition with their medal ceremony. And I'm particularly grateful and thankful for the sacrifices that have been made by these individuals, those who have served, to help protect our freedoms and our democracy, which we hold so dear. And certainly I want to acknowledge and thank those who serve around the world today wearing our uniform. Today you have to think about that we're going to be having come up to us those who came from the active duty timelines that represent 1942 to 46, 48 to 52, 1968 to 70, and also 1986 to 2000. I can personally relate to their military service to protecting these generations from my own family, and we give thanks to them, whether it's the service of them to the parents and generations that came before us, to my sisters, and for protecting the freedoms of my children. We owe our deepest gratitude to all of them and our appreciation, and I want to thank them on behalf of the Steinhaus family and for the 300,000 residents of Dutchess County. The medals that we're presenting today tell what I think is a graphic story of veterans' active military duties by representing service categories, certain skills that they provided, and the geographic areas that were served around the world and their honors for this outstanding service. They tell a story of service and sacrifice, bravery, and very important accomplishments. I know that the families, all of them, take a special pleasure and privilege in being part of the recipient's honor today. And I hope that you take a special recognition of the medals that will be presented, learning what each represents and hearing the stories as they're passed through the generations. You know, my dad was a Navy pilot in World War II, and he then served later in the reserves up through the mid-1960s, service of about 26 years. And my dad was someone that we, of course, looked up to, not only because he was just our dad who did what dads do, but because of his special role in the military. And one of the things that we so greatly honored were the medals that he had earned, including the Distinguished Flying Cross for his service in the Pacific. And when my dad passed, there was always going to be a question, well, you know, who gets what from his memorabilia? And my sister Ginny had a special relationship with her father, and she has this medal cluster home in a nicely decorated glass case. I wound up with his sword, and my older sister Barbara was presented his flag, the flag of our country, at the time of his funeral. And I just hope that the medals that are earned today receive that kind of family distinction, and that they're cherished as we in the Steinhaus family cherish the service and the memory of our dad. So I want to invite also all of the Dutchess County veterans to wear your medals coming up on November 11th, Veterans Day, which has been requested as an observance by the Honorable R. James Nicholson, the Secretary of the Navy, excuse me, the Secretary of Veterans Affairs, to help kindle a new spark of patriotism. By participating in what's going to be called the Veterans Pride Initiative, the public awareness will certainly increase, and they'll be encouraged to thank you personally for your service in safeguarding our national security. And I know it's special for you, if you wear those medals, someone to come up to you and give that thanks. When my wife and I are around traveling and we see people in uniform, we just go up to them as strangers, shake their hand, and just thank them for service. Recently, we were in the Chicago airport, and we were sitting in the food court. We went over to a couple of Marines who had obviously been deployed, and were coming home, and we just walked up and kind of shook their hand and thanked them for serving. And the people sitting next to us, which were a little bit older generation than my wife and I, said, "That was really nice that you did that. That was really special. We watched you do that." And I looked at them, I said, "Well, you know what would make it more special? Next time you see someone in uniform, you do the same." And they looked at me and said, "We're going to do that." And I hope when you wear your medals that you'll receive that same kind of recognition by the citizens of this country. This particular event on November 11th is actually going to be fashioned after a tradition in Australia and New Zealand, where they honor their military in April. So by sharing your medals and your stories, it will help the next generation understand and appreciate the true meaning of citizenship and freedom. I also want to thank the more than 30 organizations that are here today for their representation of their organizations in participating in this Information Day, and also to recognize the honorees that are here today to receive their medals. I also want to acknowledge and thank Betsy Brockway and also Nelson Alva for helping to organize today, for their work and for the good work that they do every day for the veterans of Dutchess County. So God bless you all. Thank you for serving our country, and we appreciate you being part of this special event. Thank you.
At this time, I'll ask colleagues at Bill Steinhaus and Elvin to come up front to present the medals. At this time, I'd like to call up John Corisco. John Corisco served during World War II. He was in the Army. He served from 1942 to 1945. He's a resident of Poughkeepsie. The medals that he will be receiving today are as follows: the Bronze Star Medal, Purple Heart and Oak Leaf Cluster Bronze, Good Conduct Medal, European, African, Middle Eastern Campaign Medal, and 4 Bronze Service Stars. World War II Victory Medal, Combat Infantryman Badge, Honorable Service Lapel Button, Sharpshooter Badge and Combat Bar, Marksman Badge, and Rifle Bar. Each of our awardees will also be presented an eagle on behalf of the residents of Dutchess County.